Saksi sa Double B!
Nasa linya na natin, Representative Jervil Luistro, Chairperson, House Committee on Justice. Congresswoman, magandang umaga. Si Joel Siweng po ito.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Joel and Weng. Salamat sa pagkakataong makasama tayo dito sa programa ninyo.
Salamat
you po.
po sa pagtanggap sa aming imbitasyon. Ma'am, meron na pong impeachment complaint dinala po sa Secretary General po ng House of Representatives kahapon at sabi po ni Secgen Garafil ay dadalhin ho niya sa Office of the House Speaker. Paano ba proseso nito, ma'am? Siguro magandang magabayan niyo po kami being the chairperson ng House Committee on Justice.
Okay, so under our existing rules, Joel and Weng, no? Kapag tinanggap na ng Office ng Secretary General itong impeachment complaint, she has to transmit immediately the same to the Office of the Speaker, no? Which means na anytime siguro from yesterday, ay pwede na niya itong ipadala sa tanggapan ng ating Speaker of the House. And then, the Speaker has a period of 10 session days within which to include in the order of business of the plenary this impeachment complaint. No? The thing is, magre-resume pa lang tayo sa January 26. That is this coming Monday.
Okay.
So, from January 26, the Speaker has 10 session days para ma-include sa order of business ng plenary itong impeachment complaint. Thereafter, the plenary has a period of 3 session days to transmit the same to the Committee on Justice. So tayo na yon.
Opo.
And as chair of the Committee on Justice, the rule is clear as well na pagdating sa atin, una, we have to determine sufficiency in form. Second, we have to determine sufficiency in substance. Third, kung sufficient siya both in form and in substance, we will proceed to hearing. And fourth, we will be resolving whether or not the impeachment complaint was able to establish sufficient probable cause, no? Whatever decision the Committee on Justice will be able to come up with, we are bound to submit a committee report to the plenary within the period of 60 session days. So basically, that's the rule, Joel and Weng.
Hindi po pwede ma-extend ng 60 days, Congresswoman.
It's actually 60 session
Yes.
days. May haba to.
Opo.
Sinabi nating
60 session days. Ang
no?
paliwanag natin yung Congresswoman kasi sa Kongreso, tama po ba ako kung na pag halimbawa hindi nag-adjourn sa isang araw, continuous yung session kung suspended lang.
That is correct.
So you
Oo,
can
that is
overstretch it, di ba? Pwedeng umabot ng isang taon, hindi pa tapos ang 60 session days ninyo.
Tama yon. That is correct. Kapag nag-suspend lang, the following session cannot be considered as another session day because that is just a continuation of the previous one.
Okay, siguro matanong ko lang, ma'am, yung bang nangyari kay Vice President Duterte na nakakuha agad ng 2/3 vote,
Yes,
Weng,
oo.
at immediately matik na
Senate.
napadala kaagad sa Senate. Pwede bang mangyari dito yan, ma'am?
Well, this is different, no, Joel? Kasi let us understand when we talk about the filing of impeachment, dalawang modes yan. One is by filing by a private individual sponsored by a House member or by the filing of a House member himself. That is the first mode. The second mode is the filing of impeachment complaint by at least 1/3 of the members of the House of Representatives. Itong present impeachment complaint, which is against the President, was filed by a private individual, Attorney Andre, and sponsored by a House member in the person of Congressman Nisal. Okay? Yung kay VP, that is different. It was filed by at least one-third of the members of the House of Representatives, where under the existing rules and even under the Constitution allows us to transmit directly to the Senate without need of referring the same to the Justice Committee.
Ma'am,
However, yeah, we will understand na itong naging impeachment process, the transmittal to the Senate, ang naging subject matter ng decision ng Supreme Court, which declared the impeachment process unconstitutional, no? Na may present or may ongoing motion for reconsideration naman to this date ang House of Representatives. And let us make it clear na yung decision ng Supreme Court requiring notice and hearing for the second mode, that is the filing by one-third, no? Cannot be considered yet as a jurisprudence for the fact that wala pa siyang finality because there's still a pending motion for reconsideration. In other words, Joel and Dwayne, magkaiba pong mode ito. Yung present impeachment complaint against the President, ito kailangan talagang tumaan sa Justice Committee because this is filed by a private individual endorsed by a House member. Yung kay VP, under the present rules, it allows immediate transmittal to the Senate without need of referral to the Justice Committee.
pero halimbawa, ma'am, gumigiling na yung, gumagana na yung impeachment hearing po ninyo sa Justice Committee, hindi na pwedeng maghabol pa na signature ang mga kongresista until mapuno yung kailangan na bilang para mag-stop the hearing diretso ng Senate. Allowed po ba yung ganun?
I don't think so because at the onset, it should be from the very start, it
Opo.
should be supported by at least one-third.
One-third, okay. Ma'am, ganito, ang Makabayan Bloc, nagpaplano daw po na mag-file ng panibagong, ng isa pang impeachment complaint laban sa presidente. So, magiging dalawa na ito. Bago magbukas ang Kongreso, kung maipafile agad yun, you will be dealing with 2 impeachment complaints. Pwede ba yung makonsolidate and be considered as one, tapos ang consideration nila ng 1-year bar rule ay isa lang?
Well, under the rule, no, for an impeachment to be considered as has been initiated, no, dapat ma-refer yan sa Justice Committee.
Opo.
And technically speaking, it is the referral to the Justice Committee which will bar the subsequent impeachment complaint at least for a period of 1 year, no? So, we don't know what will be the timeline in as far as the transmittal of the first impeachment complaint, and if ever there will be subsequent complaint, like what you said, by another group against the president, no? Kung mag-aabot ito right before the referral to the
Justice Committee.
Justice Committee, yes, perhaps it can be consolidated. Pero kung mauuna yung isa na ma-refer to the Justice Committee, I believe na barred na yung subsequent impeachment complaint.
Okay.
Because again, under the rules, the Francisco case, no, it is the referral to the Justice Committee which completes the initiation process and triggers the running of the 1-year prohibitive period. That is one impeachment complaint every year for every impeachable official.
Isa na lang, ma'am. Meron pong ilang mga nagdududa doon sa final na impeachment complaint ni Attorney De Jesus. Although tinatanggi na ho ni Attorney De Jesus, pero idinidikit po siya sa pangalan po ni First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos. Mako-cover ba, ma'am, kung sinasabi nga, ang paniwala ni Congressman Rice, this is doomed to fail? Mako-cover ba yung pag-alam dun sa ganong klase ng anggulo? Dun saan ba? Sa forma? Sa pag-alam ng forma nitong impeachment complaint na ito?
As to form, I don't think so. As to substance, perhaps. Because the complainant should be able to substantiate the grounds for impeachment, no? Kung wala siyang capability to substantiate, then perhaps we should look into the allegation na somehow he's connected to the First Lady, as I could see from the social media allegations, no? Makikita to, and as a matter of fact, this is the purpose of the investigation and hearing before the Justice Committee, no?
Alright. Ma'am, hindi
So, may isa pa akong
sige,
hirit. Congresswoman, kailangan ba pa nag-file ka ng impeachment complaint? Lahat ng ina-allege mo do sa reklamo mo laban sa isang impeachable official ay may personal knowledge ka. Halimbawa, yung signature do sa budget is everybody's knowledge naman yon. Pero yung sinasabi niyang addict si Presidente and the other allegations, kailangan ba yung may personal knowledge ang isang tao nagre-reklamo or pwedeng yung mga sinabi halimbawa ni Senator
narinig lang
Amy?
niya. O kaya narinig
niya
lang niya.
nasa balita
So,
lang. Can
social
that stand
media.
trial?
Actually, that is the content of the verification, which is a significant part of the impeachment complaint. The allegations must be based on personal knowledge and authentic records. That's what the verification provides. No, we will look into that once the impeachment complaint is referred to the Justice Committee.
Okay.
Alright. Ma'am.
Huling-huli na lang.
Sige,
Paano po ito itatrato ng House Justice Committee o ng buong Kamara as a whole, considering na hawak pa rin ng Presidente, syempre yung majority ng suporta ng mga kongresista? How can you explain to the people, ma'am, na paano nyo papaliwanag sa tao na magiging fair kami sa pagtasa nitong impeachment complaint nito sa Presidente?
Let us be reminded that this is our constitutional duty, no? The House of Representatives has the exclusive power to initiate impeachment complaints. So, we can assure the public na kung paano kami naging compliant sa aming constitutional duty during the initiation of the impeachment complaint against the Vice President. We will be exercising the same rigor and candor in appreciating and investigating the allegations, contents of the impeachment complaint against the President, no? So, ang atin pong ipinapaabot sa taong bayan, ito po'y kasama sa pinanumpaang tungkulin ng ating mga miyembro ng ika-20 Kongreso. So, whether it is against the President or against the Vice President, we will remain faithful sa aming pinanumpaang tungkulin sa ilalim ng ating saligang batas.
Alright. Kong, hindi ito ang huli.
Opo.
Namin kayong
Simula pa lang.
Simula pa lang po ito dahil meron nga po tayong impeachment complaint. But in the meantime, salamat
luck
sa
po.
oras po ninyo, ma'am. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
thank you. Good morning.
Thank you, Joel and Dwayne, and good morning po sa lahat ng viewers.
Good
Good
morning
morning
to
po.
you. Si Representative Jervie Luistro, Chairperson, House Committee on Justice, mga kapuso.